Arsenal are moving mad, and they have shown levels. They have shown levels. They've been proactive and reactive at exactly the right times this summer. Berta has done, again, all on paper, because we have to wait and see how this looks in reality. But he's done everything we spoke about back in March when his appointment was announced. Hit the like button, please. Make sure you are subscribing to the channel. Get that bell notification turned on as well. But my God, I said it 3 years ago, and I meant it. I sat there in the summer of 2022 and said that Arsenal scare me. Why did they scare me? Because Arsenal had been in the mud with my club, Manchester United, for many, many years. And they'd be a bit better than us, we'd be a bit better than them, but we were both pants. But they were always this team who essentially enabled me to be able to relax a little bit. I could relax. Because no matter how bad Man United were up until 2022, Arsenal were always banter FC. They took a lot of attention away from my club. They took a lot of pressure off of Manchester United, and I liked it. Why wouldn't I? Because my club comes first. But I saw in that summer a difference. Something had clicked. Something had changed. They had become a different animal, not just in how they played football, but mentality. And my prediction when I said they scare me was they'd become title challengers. Now, the world and these dogs has stolen my flow on that. The amount of times I hear Chelsea terrify me, Arsenal terrify me, City terrify me, I'm scared. Ironically, by a lot of YouTubers that for a year really called me out. That's the beauty of being a trendsetter. There's a little bit of sarcasm there. That's satirical. That's a bit of a joke. Don't take it seriously. They did. Genuinely, I had one YouTuber that messaged me going, "Bro, why are you acting like people are hiding under a bed scared? Now they're doing the same thing." Oh, it's so funny. But anyway, I digress massively. I got a lot. How are you scared of a team like Arsenal, but yet you don't say you're scared of Liverpool and City that you think are better? It struck me as strange that I had to explain it because I thought it was very clear. But I explained it again. I was scared because they were leaving me behind in the mud. Of course, at the time, I felt Liverpool and City were better. And I spoke about those two teams as being two of the best in the world in that period, which I stand on is a much bigger compliment than saying a team scares me, especially when you look at the contextual relevance of why I was scared. But what Arsenal have done this summer, now let me bring this full circle. Hincapié just signed loan with a 52 million euro option. I think that's including add-ons. So you're probably looking at about 40 million pound in totality. In and around, though, 300 million spent from Arsenal. A bit less probably, but in and around 300 million. An unprecedented summer in the history of Arsenal Football Club. And Berta has come in and delivered exactly what we expected, exactly what we thought he could and would. And as rivals, we predicted it correctly, but I'm scared again. And Terry, well, why are you scared? Listen, I'd much rather Arsenal win the league on a footballing level than Liverpool or City. They're not as big a rivals to me. Plus, I just don't want City and Pep winning more. There's a legacy issue at play here. And Liverpool would surpass Man United's total of leagues. Now, Arsenal have 13, by the way, which is why I would prefer Chelsea to do it because they're even further behind. But I've got to... People are going to ask, who would you prefer to win? Like, no one, but that is impossible. So it becomes a stupid answer. Arsenal or Chelsea are there. So I'm glad that they're building a team that can win the league. The problem is that where I'm worried, where I'm scared, is that Arsenal was so far behind Man United 6 or so years ago. And now I can't see a world where in the short term we get anywhere near them. We can get anywhere near their level. And there is part of me that's frustrated by it. But do you know what I do? I don't suppress my feelings, right? I don't push the feelings deep down inside because all that actually leads to is you being angry. The reason why you get by the way, I was angry when Man United lost to Grimsby. The reason why you see some Man United fans and some rivals of Arsenal always angry online is because they suppress how they really feel. They slag Arsenal off. They pretend they're not good. They bury all their true feelings down inside and it builds up and it just keeps exploding. They're making themselves unwell in many ways. I think the easiest thing to do is be honest and just say what it is. Arsenal have been a fantastic team for the last 3 years. They haven't quite got over the line. That is absolutely true. But they've done, I think, everything in their power possible to win the Premier League and win the Champions League this summer. Unprecedented in their approach, moving on an absolutely different level to what we've seen them operate at before. And there is a train of thought, which is echoed by Mohamed Salah, of all people, that Arsenal are now the favourites to win the Premier League. Now, I paused. One, for some dramatic effect, not that I have music in the background or anything, but also as a reflection point. Do you agree with that? Now, I know I have a lot of Liverpool fans who watch this channel as well, and I'm so grateful that so many people from so many different clubs watch. But what do you honestly think? And don't do the leopards in the tree thing. If you think Liverpool are the favourites, say. Because they're still my favourites. As of right now, the 30th of August, 2025, Liverpool are still my favourites. And the reason why I'm edging towards Liverpool is, I think, because I still think they're going to get Isak. I think that's going to happen. But the marginal difference, because I felt the whole time it's marginal, it's going to come down to know-how, having won it before as a team, how you get through those horrible cold nights in January, February, March, what you do in the run-in. I just think Liverpool have that slight edge because their manager and most of their players have been there before. And even a lot of the players that they've brought into the club, like your Frimpongs and your Virtues of this world, have been there and won league titles in very recent periods. Isak, not so much when he comes in. Ekatike, Kirkes haven't. But the vast majority of that squad has won multiple titles, manager. Still, I've got them there as my marginal favourites. But this weekend could change it. If Arsenal were able this weekend to go to Anfield, and the one thing about Liverpool you would say thus far this summer, and I don't know if it's going to be addressed between the Newcastle game on Monday and Sunday's game against Arsenal, but the defence can be frail, especially from set pieces, throw-ins, balls into the box. Could Arsenal go and beat them at Anfield for the first time in a generation? Could Arsenal take what has been an unprecedented and an amazing summer and yield that weapon at Anfield? It would only give them a 3-point advantage 3 games into the season. It's barely a margin at all at this stage. It's minuscule. But there would be a massive psychological win that Anfield is out the way. And the two teams that everybody is predicting to be the number 1 and number 2. So I don't think it matters which one you have as favourites. Number 1 and number 2 is there. But for Arsenal to go to Anfield this early and get the 3 points means you don't have that visit later on in the season, which is nearly always seen as a guarantee for Liverpool. It's going to be an amazing game. There is no doubt about it. I'll be back to work officially, back in the studio by then. And I'm very, very excited to see how it plays out. But as ever, look, your views, your opinions, your takes on this mean more to me than anything else. I want to know what you think about Arsenal summer, what you think about this Hincapié deal, plus what they've done overall. Are they now the favourites to win the Premier League? Give us your thoughts. Give us your opinions. Try not to make, listen, write what you want, but try not to make it salty. Give me an actual breakdown of what you think and why, because I'm generally more interested in that than just, no, they're forever the bridesmaids. Okay, say that, but break down why. I want them to know your reason why. Just would love to understand it. Thank you, people. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you all again soon.